This is effectively the part C of the KhoodeelaarTV television channel. This one is timed at 14:55 hours GMT, but we are starting a few minutes before that stated time. Today's announcement by Boris Johnson that a probe, that is investigation, is going to be held into David Cameron's lobbying for Green Seal. This announcement is a complete joke because no inquiry will reveal anything that is not known already. And even if it reveals anything that is literally not included in the currently available, publicly available, accessible information, that additional thing is not going to make substantial difference. Because essentially the government in this country, in the UK, is like the Banana Republic on the one hand. And the other example could be there is a dictatorship. Now, if it is a Banana Republic, then it means that there is no rule of law as is known internationally objectively. There is no due process as is known internationally objectively. And there is no compliance with due process or rule of law as known, as those two are known internationally objectively. Or if it is a fascist state, dictatorship, then of course no rule of law could apply because it's a dictatorship. And the last 4 days of the wall-to-wall coverage by Fleet Street, brainwashing the already brainwashed. And this is a cover. This is a cover to hide all the bad news under for as long as they could. And I think the decision by Boris Johnson to announce the diversionary stunt disguised as a probe into the inquiry into Cameron's lobbying has been a kind of prompted by the intervention of Gordon Brown, who has made a statement, but the Brown statement is not relevant for its substance, but it's relevant for the fact that it represents the electoral element. I mean, that also shows that Keir Starmer has indeed politically murdered the Labour Party, because it's not Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer should have made the intervention, not Gordon Brown. And the fact that Gordon Brown has made the intervention as carried by the Good Morning Britain on ITV speaks volumes about the fact that the Labour Party has been politically murdered by Keir Starmer. So, how does this work? I mean, how does this country work? Well, it doesn't work for the many. And the fact that despite the many being denied basic rights and say the Labour Party is not questioning the death of democracy. That means that democracy has been dead, politically killed off. And this extends to all parts of the state and covers all the agencies. So they are, quote, operating, but they're not answerable and accountable. And the case of the corrupt, complicit collusion, that's the Duke of Edinburgh cover, and it's far away from the page 1, page 25 of the Daily Mail. You have to read up to page 25 of the Daily Mail to see Cameron faking it. So, in the probe or the investigation stunt, they would not find anything, and they will not want to find anything, and nothing will happen. So, what's the impact of this announcement? The impact of this announcement is that the coverage or the cover-ups in the Fleet Street papers and the mainstream about Cameron scandal will stop. So that's the purpose of the announcement. And there is no precedent. There is no precedent anywhere in English law, so-called, or English legal bureaucracy that says otherwise, because no former minister or cabinet minister or prime minister has been prosecuted for this crime, this kind of crime, which means that this has been going on for too long. Now, the exception may be cited in relation to Reginald Maudling, the Conservative Home Secretary, who was ousted from power during the Paulson corruption, John Paulson corruption. But that has not created a sustainable precedent and a disciplined kind of citable series of grounds on which a former minister or prime minister can be prosecuted. And it has been a long time since anyone in the Conservative Party, in the Conservative government, has been featuring in corruption like Cameron has been. And this so-called statement that he reportedly issued, containing 1,700 words, he issued on Sunday, doesn't contain confession that he accept he has done anything wrong. It's a defiant statement. And this actually defies the corrupt culture of this country. So, again, this is a short edition and we shall continue later.